welcome back to my channel, Adventures with Amirah. Today I have a very different video for you guys. First up, I want to give props to Kathryn over at Do It on a Dime because she kind of did a spin to me on the reality versus your fantasy self, and also just about being authentic, and I really enjoyed her video. I think she posted that today, so I'll put a link for that down below. But I want to talk to you guys just about being real with who you are and, you know, not expecting so much out of yourself. I'm the worst about this. I mean, there's just always little things that we deal with in life, and sometimes I just feel overwhelmed, and that's not something I really share with you guys. I do have ADD, so I'm like all over the place a lot of times. I'm doing lots of edits on these videos when I make them for you. Sometimes I'm cutting a video down from 45 minutes to like 15 minutes. My fantasy self is like a tech guru. Girl, I'm on it. I know how to do everything. I got the best cameras. I got the best lighting. I got the best computers. No. My computer's like, I don't know, she's like 9 years old, but she is hanging on for dear life. She's an old Apple MacBook Pro, and she was very expensive, and so if she's still hanging on, I'm hanging on with her as long as possible. My husband's been trying to get me to get a new computer for quite some time, and I'm like, I just want to use this one. I'm really funny like that. Like, I don't know why, and I think that has a lot to do with what we're talking about in this video, is learning to be happy with whatever you have. Whether it's the best or the worst or nothing at all. Learning to be happy, and that is so difficult for people. And you know, one of the challenges I have as a parent, because a lot of people comment on, you know, you're such a good mommy, and they see all the things that I do with my kids and whatnot, but honestly it's very difficult, especially if you have the ability to do things for your kids or to buy things for them, not to just spoil them rotten. And there's like a fine line between giving them enough and making them where they're just ungrateful for everything and nothing's ever good enough. And I see that around me in society a lot, where people are just never happy no matter what they have. If you gave them $1 million, it'd be, why wasn't it $2 million? Or, well, she got $1,003. Why didn't I get that? And I'm like, really? You know, and I've seen that so much. And so learning to be happy with what you have, I think, is a big part of being authentic and being happy in who you are and the things that you have in life. And you know, part of what keeps me grounded as far as not always worrying what other people have is knowing that I have so much love, like just from my husband and my kids, and I do the best that I can. And you know, they think I'm amazing according to them, but I'm like, oh my God, I'm like hanging on, you know, by a string, literally, half the time, because I have all these ideas in my head. And I don't take medicine for my ADD. I didn't even realize that it was this bad, and I'm going to tell you, I realized this in college. I remember I was in a class one day, and I kept moving closer and closer to the front. There's this bright orange psychedelic wall behind my professors, and this was like a cognitive evolution class. Super interesting. I could not focus because of that freaking orange psychedelic wall behind the teacher. And so eventually I just kept moving closer till I was like literally like up under the teacher's head. Like, I was like, and the guy next to me, unbeknownst to me, had noticed that I had done this throughout the first few weeks of the semester, and he was like, why are you moving closer? And he said, is it that orange wall? Because it was like orange with like some kind of paisley. I don't even know what was going on in that building. And I said, yes, how'd you know? He says, adult ADD, you gotta love it. And I was like, oh my God, you're right. I totally have such a hard time. And I was able to make straight A's in college, but I mean, I really had to work so hard to learn how to study, to learn what I could tolerate around me. You know, thank God I graduated from college 4 days before I found out I was pregnant, because I don't know how well I would have done going to school, you know, while I had kids and working and stuff. I don't know that I could have been able to do it, but I would have done the best that I could. My fantasy is that I just have it together. I have a schedule. I've got it all mapped out in my planner like I see these girls do online. I aspire to be that person, but I have not made it yet. And I don't know if that's ever really something in the cards for me. But, you know, I do the best that I can with what I have. That's another thing. sitting in the line at carpool has started to eat up my life. And I know other moms go through that, but now I have one that's in elementary school that starts at 8 and one at middle school that starts at 9:30. So I take them back and forth and back and forth, and my son doesn't go, see what I mean? Roasting and burning in the carpool, which you know I've already had skin cancer. So, you know, fantasy self remembers to put on sunscreen every day. I've gotten better. I put a little thing of sunscreen, like a travel size, in the car so that if I'm stuck somewhere with the sun burning me, I can put the sunscreen on. To get my daughter at 2:30, I have to be in carpool at 1:30. Yes, I have to sit there just in the line for an hour. And reality is, by the time I get into a project, it's time to go somewhere again. And so that's really hard for me too, because if any of you have ADD out there, you know that we are notorious for starting projects and not finishing projects. And that happens with me a lot, where I start doing something and then the kids need something and then 5 other things happen and then I forget what I was even doing, and then I come back later, I'm like, oh my God, I never finished this. Just life. Another thing about my fantasy self is that I wake up happy, you know, excited to be alive. No, that's my husband, the Energizer Bunny. I'm the opposite. My kids call me Mombi when I wake up. And without coffee, which is the juice of life for Mombies like me, I would not make it. I never drank coffee really ever. My dog is just groaning and groaning and groaning. He's probably like, could you please shut up? I'm trying to nap. Thanks, Galaxy. And now I rely on coffee, at least a few cups a day, to keep me motivated and keep me moving. And it's to the point to where if my son needs help with homework or something and he didn't finish it at night, or my husband needs to ask me an important question, I mean, I've literally had to tell them, don't ask me anything important before coffee, please, because I don't know what kind of answer you may get. I don't know if I'm going to care. I don't know if I'm just going to be like, yeah, whatever. Like, it's so sad. I'm like trying to get a little bit better, but yeah. So the juice of life, yeah. Anyway, other things that are fantasy versus reality. Fantasy says I have time to read all of these books that I tend to accumulate because I love books and I love to read. No. The time that you'd think I'd be in carpool. Now, last year, I was able to read one book while I was in carpool. For like a few months, I would read a few minutes every day. But it seems like this year, because I'm just running so much and we have all this other stuff going on, I'm trying to schedule around and stuff, I haven't been able to read not one. I have a whole set of Outlander books, which I absolutely love Outlander. I don't know if any of you ladies love Outlander. But the show that's on Stars, oh, I fell in love with it. I can't wait to plan our trip to Scotland. But anyway, see, ADD. My husband bought me the Outlander books last year. Do you know I still have not even cracked open the limited edition set or something that he got me? Because every day I'm like, I'm going to start reading those Outlander books, or I'm going to take them on vacation with us. I don't have time to read when we're on vacation. Like, we normally are doing so much stuff with the kids. I can't think of any time that I'm just sitting somewhere alone or for a quiet moment. And of course with ADD, I cannot read like when my kids are sitting playing or watching TV and stuff. I need like a quiet space to read. I can barely even read with music or anything around me. You know, my fantasy self has time to read all these books. Next up, my Dollar Tree videos. I will insert a clip here for you. Ah, the beauty of a sparkling chandelier. And then there's reality. I have all of these bags that I get. So now my husband's like, what's going on with all this stuff everywhere? So I'm like, well, I haven't filmed my haul video yet. It's like, there's just stuff, there's clutter. I'm like, I know, honey, but my viewers want to see all the stuff I got at the Dollar Tree. And if I put it all up and then try to gather it all back for my video, I won't remember what I bought. And it's like, okay, I understand that. Well, Fantasy Self gets the video filmed the same day I go to the Dollar Tree. Now I see why ladies more and more are filming in their car. It's a really smart idea. Not me. I bring the stuff home and think, oh, I'm going to have time to do this tonight. And then somebody calls, or then the dog's sick, or then one of the kids are sick, or, you know, life. And there sits the stuff on my dining room table. That's why sometimes I'll tell you guys, hey, this is like 2 weeks of hauls where I just go to the Dollar Tree and I sit the stuff on my dining room table. And I thought, okay, I'm not going to clutter up my dining room. I'm going to film in my bedroom. because I was going to film like in a certain little area. Well, that's all cute and stuff, but then I realized I was, especially with groceries, which I bought some of this week, like yams and things like that. Who wants to be hauling canned goods up and down the stairs? So fantasy self said that was a great idea. Reality said not so much. Crafts. Are you guys hoarders of crafts? My little helpful crafter has been helping mommy put things away, and sometimes her help means things just get stuck wherever. And then I come in and then I'm frustrated, so more stuff just gets stuck wherever. I'm like, oh, I don't have time to deal with this now. And this is what you end up with. Piles of nifty crafty supplies that are in your dining room instead of like a normal dining room. I tend to hoard crafts. I don't know when I decided I was such a crafty person. I mean, if you look at my DIY videos, I look a little crafty even when I watch them myself, and I'm like, did I really do that? I don't know. My mom was very crafty, but I wasn't raised with my mom. And so I guess genetically I have that inside of me somewhere, thank God. And my daughter's far craftier than I am, so I feel a little bit less guilty about hoarding crafts now, because she will rummage through all my stuff and she finds all kinds of stuff, and she's constantly making some sort of craft project. And so I don't feel quite as bad that I have all this stuff and like, will I ever use it? With her in the house, I may very well use it all, but I tend to just buy things, and I think of all these creative cards I can make for people for Christmas and stickers, and I'm constantly thinking of other people when I'm shopping. That's just who I am as a person, and I tend to want to just give so much. And you know, I've realized lately, like, you don't physically have space to accumulate the stuff that you want to accumulate. Like, you know who my fantasy self is? It's Tori Spelling's mom. I forget her name, but I have this giant craft room with my own wrapping paper room, and no, it's not reality. So this year I've put myself on a restriction of you cannot buy any wrapping paper, because I tend to hoard wrapping paper too, and I love bows and ribbons. And my fantasy self says I have these big, huge Christmases and these big dinner. No, it's probably just going to be us, my husband, and my kids and I. And guess who cleans up after Christmas? Normally, mommy is, you know, or the stuff's just everywhere. And so I found that gift bags tend to be a lot easier for me. I like some wrapped gifts, but I like gift bags too. And it used to be like all wrapped gifts for me. So now I've just had to be like, you know, mama can only do so much. That's what I started telling my children. I think they think I might go on strike or something. It's not like that. I'm like, no, but I'm like, they're 9 and 12, and at their age, my husband and I both, man, we were like mowing yards and digging weeds up and planting trees and cleaning the entire house. I mean, I used to be on the second story hanging out the window cleaning our freaking windows and stuff. And my kids are so spoiled. I mean, they know how to do things, but my fantasy self says that they're very, very well equipped to be productive adults, and the reality is mom's got to do a better job, because I need to make sure that they do chores. But see, that's very difficult for me because of the ADD. While I'm busy trying to plan out their chores, it becomes a chore for me on top of that. So luckily they're getting better about just trying to help out more on their own without me having to ask. So that's been a real blessing. The point of this whole video was, you guys are doing great. Trust me. I'm over here struggling like nobody's business, and I thought I would just share that with you guys. I mean, you guys are my friends. Honestly, because we've moved so much in the military, I have my Facebook friends that, you know, check on me here and there. I don't really have that many genuine friends. My fantasy self has these great friends and these wonderful parties that, no, that's not reality. My life is centered around my children and my husband, and I have a few friends from their schools and stuff, other parents, but honestly, you know, I have you guys, and I'm so glad that I created this channel, and that's why I try to respond to all of you guys when you talk to me, because I really feel like you guys are my friends. So when I go shopping, I'm thinking of you guys. I'm like, oh gosh, you know, the people who are watching, they will love to see this, or oh wow, I remember so-and-so's video. She says she loves teapots, or this person loves cats, and I literally think of you guys while I'm out there shopping about. I mean, it's just an interesting thing, that this relationship that we have. So anyway, I hope that this gave you a little bit of insight into, you know, how things go in my house. And let me know down below what your fantasy versus reality is for you guys, and how, you know, you embrace being your authentic self. You guys have a wonderful week. Bye-bye.